The dragons entered the hawk's nest anticipating noise, but it was a quiet game. The crowd stayed still, and from the opening possessions, everything felt muted and deliberate as both teams moved cautiously. Drexel struck first. Kevon Vanderhorst opened from the arc for three, setting the spacing framework immediately. Monmouth responded, answering the arc with twos and refusing to let the math get away from him. The earliest minutes of the matchup didn't produce a run, just tit-for-tat basketball. The Hawks circled the Dragons and rattled possessions. Justin Ray set the tone with scrappy pressure, active hands, and constant disruption. He scratched at passing lanes, sped up decisions, and forced Drexel to stay alert with its rotation. Monmouth continued orbiting ball handlers to cut possessions early. However, pressure created space elsewhere. Eli Beard took advantage, stepping into quick threes to punish even brief lapses. Each time Monmouth believed it had found footing, Eli reset the climb without hesitation. Just release. The Hawks answered again inside, leaning on Cornelius Robinson Jr. to keep them alive with physical finishes. Monmouth answered, but for less material gain off the board. Josh Reed grounded those exchanges with downhill twos, making Monmouth's interior answers obsolete as Drexel's shooters continued to cash in from deep. The Dragons circled back. Shane Blakeney began coordinating traffic, pointing teammates into space, and keeping possessions organized, while taking shots from the arc intuitively. The value gap quietly widened the score, but it remained a peck and hunt game. As rotations shift, Monmouth leaned harder into pressure. But Drexel stayed composed. Mid-rotation, Dylan Tingler checked in and shook Monmouth's coverage, forcing the Hawks to adjust to the Dragons' deep bench. The game tightened into a pressure cooker. Drexel ramped up defensively, forcing a shot clock violation. But Monmouth answered with pressure of its own, drawing an inbounds violation. The building quieted again, and nothing felt settled yet. Then, control turned into separation. Without fouls or rushing, one player commanded the ball with a run. Blakeney strung together 8 points in a late burst in the final seconds of the half with a clean jumper followed by deep threes in rapid succession, turning Drexel's patience into steady breathing fire. By halftime, Blakeney already had 14 points, and at the break, the scoreboard finally reflected the shift. Halftime, Drexel 38, Monmouth 19. The second half opened quietly and stubbornly. The pace slowed to one possession at a time, and Drexel didn't force anything. They stayed active but reserved. Blakeney continued to let the game come to him, controlling tempo instead of chasing stats. As the half wore on, the reality of the shot conversions became apparent. Earlier trades of twos and threes had kept the Hawks within reach, but the math finally caught up to them, and Monmouth survived at the foul line through Doc Modier, who struggled down low but kept the Hawks in the air by making trips to the stripe count. But it wasn't enough to close the gap. Inside, Victor Panel provided stability with interior finishes and foul shots of his own. And on the glass, Garfield Turner controlled rebounds on both ends, eliminating second chance momentum shifts for the Hawks. Later, Coach Spiker went to the bench to extend the line, and the reserves finished the match. Max Davis knocked down a three that immediately caused the bench to erupt. Ralph Akuta erased the look at the rim with a block. And Josh Reed finished the sequence with a dunk in transition. Drexel walked out with a 73-51 road win. What started as a quiet chess match ended as a controlled performance defined not by flash, but by discipline, balance, and knowing exactly when to take flight and when to stay still, leaving the building quiet.